Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Wisdom Within Her podcast. So excited. This episode will be talking about relationships. So it's going to get real critical, but it's interesting. I love it. Society doesn't want us to know these things, but again, on my podcast, we got to talk about it. So come tap in. So, relationships, girls, we always want to be in a relationship, right? That's just what it is. It's annoying, but hey, that's what girls want to do, right? We always want to have that person. We always want to have that partner. It's normal, but before you get in a relationship, just ask yourself some questions, right? Are you suitable for the relationship that you want to be in, right? Do you love yourself enough and concrete enough to be in a stable relationship, right? Do you have healthy tactics of being in a relationship? Understand, are you self-sufficient? Understand, are you reliable for yourself, right? So these are some checkpoints that you need to ask yourself. Are you secure rather than insecure? I will hope the answer is yes to all those while you're in a relationship. But again, we're not living in a perfect world. We all have these, insecurities. We all battle with these battles, but we have to overcome. And as a female, we have to stop lowering our standards, right? So again, you have to love yourself, right? We can't, my man, but we're battling with all these things inside. We don't even know how to love ourselves, right? So how can we love them? We want to just, not heal ourselves, but we want to heal that other person. It can't be, we want to give, but we're not filling our own cup up, So again, what does that look like? What does self-love look like, right? What does healing yourself look like before you heal the other person? It looks like, again, it's not all pretty days, right? It's, again, knowing your triggers, knowing what you like to do, right? Knowing that, okay, I can do everything for myself before the other person come adding on to my life, right? We always get so caught up, just say, as a female, when you first get in a relationship, it's just a thing. I don't know why it's annoying, but I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. But you get into your place now. Okay, you got to pay a bill. Hold on. You can't pay your bills? That's the problem. That's the problem. So again, as a female, we have to be self-sufficient. You have to do everything for yourself to know that you can do it before you want the other person to do it. So let me break it down what I mean. So you just got in a relationship, right? You guys just started talking, right? Dating, I guess, before a relationship stage. And again, you just started talking, just started dating, right? But you moved in a place, whatever, you have your place, you're already concrete, but then your boyfriend comes along, significant other, whatever, your partner. You expect them to pay a bill, whether it's any bill, I'm just saying a bill, right? But again, what's going on while he's paying the bill? Are you guys even concrete enough, right? The problem is, his answer should be, I will hope it is, you can't pay a bill before I get here. You can't supply for yourself. And again, that's the female's issue. We always want them to do everything for us. Again, let me break it down. So before you get in a relationship, understand there's a lot of things that you have to do before you get into that relationship. And again, you have to be concrete with yourself. So when I mention paying bills, I will hope you know that you need to have money before you get in a relationship. That's just, you have to supply for yourself. You have to, how can you be beneficial for him if you're not beneficial for yourself? And again, everything is not about money, but you have to take care of yourself, right? You can't just expect a man to supply, but you're not supplying for yourself, right? We have to make sense here. The math has to math. So, again, you have to love yourself. You got to be concrete. You have to be self-sufficient, right? You have to be reliable of yourself. Before you get into a relationship, do you know who you are, right? Again, now you're covered, right? You know who you are. You self-sufficient. You're very reliable on yourself. You understand your triggers. You understand what you like to do in your free time. You understand that it's not always about him, right? You understand that it's not always about you. All right. So now let's go to him, right? Your partner, significant other. Let's keep it broad. Now, the female perspective, it's always me. We always just want, right? But we're not really paying attention to our partner's needs, right? It's not always about a female. And that's the problem. We get so caught up and so hanged up on anything that we want, right? It's about us. We're the girl. We want to be spoiled. We want to do this. We want to do that. But reciprocation matters, right? So as a relationship, it's not always about the female. Give and take. It's about both of you guys, right? So as a female, the perspective needs to kind of shift a little bit as well and be mindful. And again, you have to be selfless and you have to be self-aware and you have to be mindful because he has needs as well, right? Just like you have needs, of course, you're the female. But the problem is we get so caught up into forgetting their feelings, forgetting their emotions, forgetting that they go through things too. You know, guys are not easy to just open up like females. Females can open up. They want the relationship 10 times out of 10, right? They want it, so they're going to go for it. Now they're opening up, talking, you know, telling you everything that you want to hear, right? But in the guy perspective, us females are not taking that in consideration, right? Us females are not, did you eat today? Us females are not what happened in the past that triggers you from the now. Us females don't ask those questions, right? Us females don't ask, what do you like to do? It's always about the females. And that's the problem in the relationships this time and age, right? This generation, my generation, it's just the way it goes, right? And again, relationships, take your time. The problem is we want to just rush into it. We want to have a title so bad. We want to have a label so bad. But why can't it just start off as friends? Build a bond, right? What is the problem with building the bond? And then if it comes, it comes. But as a female, we want to feel so entitled. That's our problem. We want to feel so entitled. We want my man, my man, my man. Okay, next, I need the ring. I need this. It's useless, right? If you have the title, now your actions won't add up to the title. That's the problem. As a female, I'm speaking from a female perspective. If you give a female that much title, it's not going to be what the title is, right? So, I just want to encourage you, take your time, right? Take your time, be friends first, and then it'll add up to your relationship, right? So again, before you get into your relationship, understand the checklist. And 10 times out of 10, we all have healing to do. But a lot of the times, are you ready for your relationship? As a female, we always want a relationship, but what happened to the goals? Don't put your goals on hold for your relationship. Because again, we have an aspect of doing that also. We always want to do that as well. We always want to say, okay, I'll put it off. Let me go to his house. I'll put it off. Let's do something. But be concrete with yourself, right? Don't shift your mindset because a relationship, right? That's the problem. As a female, we always get so caught up into this, what I'm doing, relationship, tactics. But again, do you have goals that you got off the ground? Do you have things that transpire in your mind? 10 times out of 10, maybe you will. But again, a lot of times you won't, right? So you're just yearning for a relationship. You're yearning for it. You want it, right? But we need to stop wanting so much and worrying about what we need. I always say a relationship is two people, right? Two people. You have what you want to do. You have who you are, plus who he is, partner is, whoever, plus what they want to do as well. So again, it's not just about the female. It's about him as well. And there's two people. So it should be add-ons. It should never be a thing where it's just taken off. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is, okay, you're working, a partner's working, right? However you want to say it. But the fact of it is that you guys need to add on to each other. So if you're working, it should be good, right? Healthy, right? Healthy. That's a whole different thing. We're going to get into it in a minute. But we need to add on to each other. It's not going to always be 50-50. And realistically, we have to understand some days you don't have it. Some days they might have it. Some days you're having a bad day. You expect your significant other to pick you up. But again, in a female perspective, we don't always think about that. And that's the problem. This generation is so, even my generation, it's just mind-boggling of we always think, okay, 50-50. Okay, but let's stop putting a title. Let's stop putting a number. You give, I give. Let's just do reciprocation. Let's just be reciprocal, right? Because again, it's two people. Sometimes you don't, sometimes I will, sometimes I don't, sometimes you will. But again, we're meeting each other and we're meeting at balance. And that's the part that we need, balance, right? In a relationship, you need balance. So again, when I was talking about healthy, we need healthy relationships. As a female, I don't know why, but we just want the toxic. That's the problem. We want the toxic. We want the bad boys, living the life, fast money, fast pace, whatever it is, but it's toxic, right? So when we get in a relationship, toxic feels so right. And that's just, I'm speaking for myself too, toxic feels so right. But in reality and realistically, when you heal, healthy is the way to go. Now, obviously we know what a toxic relationship looks like, right? Well, if you don't, it's arguing, fighting, can't give each other a break unhealthily, right? You're doing everything that you wouldn't do single by yourself. It's definitely jealousy. So toxic jealousy, envy, right? Bashing each other, talking down on each other, right? Not doing the right thing as you would as a whole, right? So now let's talk about what's healthy relationships. Healthy relationships, as a female, we always say, okay, that's boring. But that's because we have to heal. That's because we need to change our mindset. That's because we're looking for love in the wrong places. A healthy relationship is, okay, you have work today. Okay, you're going to go to work. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to build. I can't always be up under you. We have stuff to do. We have goals to reach. We're not going to be in la la land all day. We can't always, it's still in love, but you have goals. I have goals. Let's do it, right? We can't always just be under each other, doing the same thing that you would used to do, whatever. Can't do that. Healthy relationships. Healthy relationships looks like compromise. Healthy relationship looks like positive communication, talking things out, right? Sitting down, okay, I didn't like how you did this, so I want you to fix that. But respectfully, right? You have to understand there's two minds. We can't read your mind. That's the problem. Females always want us to, okay, we're going to mope around because we think you're going to figure it out. No, that's a toxic way of thinking. And again, we all thought of it. I used to do the same thing. But when you heal, that's the thing. When you heal, are you going to heal? That's what you need to do before you get into a relationship. But the fact of it is, in a healthy relationship, I don't like how you did this day. Okay, let's fix it. Let's fix it together. How can I do this? Can you help me do this so we can grow? It's about growing. It's about doing things better with the two of you. Not just, okay, you didn't do this, so now I'm out of here. Now, if you want to be out of there, okay, then whatever. But you make it work if you want it to work, right? The fact of it is, I know I said I'm okay. The fact of it is, you just have to understand it's two people, two mindsets. And we don't know how you think, but you have to be clear, communicate clearly. And again, don't bash someone. Just motivate them. Just speak to them how you want to be spoke to. Treat them how you want to be treated. The fact of it is that we just have to understand you have to go in with a positive mindset. You can't want a healthy relationship, but you still want to argue about the same things. Absolutely not. It's not going to work. That's a toxic mindset, right? You can't just put your hands on the other partner because you don't like what they said. Toxic mindset. And as a female, we always want the baddest ones. We always want the toughest boys. We always want that's toxic mindset. But again, you're going to go for the toxic mindset if you're not healed, right? You have to be healed. And again, it's not a perfect world. We're not perfect, but you can try to do what's needed for you in that relationship. So the fact of it is, when you heal healthy relationships, we talk about positive communication. Just say, for instance, I always say, imagine if you're both doing the right things, both healthy, right? Healthy relationship. Imagine how far it will go. You will build on that, right? But just think, if you're friends, right? You're building it up as friendship first. That's how it should be. You should build up as friendship first and then build your bond of being in a relationship. But the fact of it is, us females, we always want to move things fast, right? We always want to do things our way. But again, it's two minds, two people. And in relationships, we get so caught up in lowering our standards as a female. That's the problem. We go for mediocrity. For what? You are who you are. If they're not up to par, then something has to change. But we can't keep, as a female, lowering our standards. Why are we lowering our standards if they're already not coming to where we need them to be? And that, I mean, mentally, right? We always look for materialistic things. Oh, they look nice. They look good. They have money. They're flashy. 10 times out of 10, the mindset is at a 0. And I'm speaking the truth. I'm serious. The mindset is at a 0. We have to stop going for the looks. We have to stop going for, oh, they have money. They're flashy. They have the best sneakers on. They have the best clothes. But what does the mind look like? Have you asked them, okay, what are your goals? What did you do today? That will tell you a lot about a person. 24 hours in a day. Did you make use to it? Are you being productive? Again, as a female, we have to know these things. What was your childhood like? Speak to them about it. Because again, all the bottled up, figuring it out, doing it by yourself, it's not going to work. You're just going to assume. That's another thing. In a relationship, do not assume. Right? And an unhealed person would assume. I used to assume all the time. But when you heal, you just understand that you can't take everything so personally. You have to understand, again, it's two people. They have a life, you have a life. And then you guys build that life together, right? But as a female, we have to stop lowering that standard. We have to stop looking at things through a perspective of materialistic things. It's not going to get anywhere. It's only going to be lust, envy, jealousy, want, money. What is that, right? A toxic behavior of a relationship. That's the problem. Females, change your perspective, right? Go for the mindset. Don't go for the looks. The looks will be there, but if it's not, it's not. I bet you if you go for the mindset, 10 times out of 10, once you go for the mindset, okay, it will start growing on you. I'm just saying, it's not a perfect picture, right? Everybody has their person. You're going to have your person. But the fact of it is, can't always go for looks because 10 times out of 10, it's not going to be everything. But as a female, we always want what we want. And that's our problem. That's our problem. And especially when society doesn't tell you, okay, obviously don't ask people for their goals. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you, go for the healed version of them. Do things separately and then come together. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, okay, it's a relationship, my man. Okay, we won. We get married tomorrow. That's the problem. Do you know them? It's not always about vacations. It's not always about doing things, date nights. It's not always about having fun. What about the intimate part, the conversation? What about the getting to know them? It can take months, it could take days, it could take years, but it's your pace. It's not about pleasing everyone else. That's the problem. Stop being a people pleaser, right? Stop going after things because your friends think it's cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. The problem is we get so fascinated and we get so caught up with certain things that limit relationships. The problem relationships do not last is, hey, look at him, our friends. We want our friends to be involved so bad. But again, where did the privacy go? That's the thing. At some point, privacy still have to be there. But again, as a female, we want everybody. And I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with showing off. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is when you're getting to know someone, take it seriously, right? If you want it to be serious. Now, if you're doing things that quick, whatever, then hey. But if you want to be healed, you take it seriously, right? Consider someone else's feelings. And again, be transparent. It's important to be transparent in a relationship because if you're not, it's not going to work. You're going to be selfish. You're going to only think about yourself. You're not going to think about, okay, how do they feel? And again, as a female, we get so selfish sometimes. That's our nature. We always just want it for us, right? But again, can't do it. If you want to be healed, you can't do it, right? So again, the problem is we want everything for ourselves, right? We want everything glitter, gold, fashion. Everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that's gold does not glitter. Right? And that's just the moral. So that's just the bottom line of how life is as well. Society doesn't tell you that though. Society wants you to understand the one who's best dressed is the best fit for you. But that's not it. That's not it. So the fact of it is you have to understand who your partner is as well, right? Who is he? Who is she? Right? Who are you? Just know that if you had to take a test on your partner, right? Little things. Would you pass it? 10 times out of 10, maybe not, maybe you will. But the fact of it is, you guys still have to understand it's two people, can't read each other's minds, right? And I keep saying that a lot because as a female, we get so caught up into, okay, I like this, so he's automatically going to have to like it. Because if you don't, then we can't be, because it's me, 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 me. That's the problem, right? Again, when you're in a relationship, I'll say a couple months, years, whatever, continue doing date nights. In a relationship, continue feeding the fire, because if you don't, it's going to get boring, right? Again, relationships should be fun. Relationships should not be draining. Relationships should not be a thing where it feels like death. Relationships should not drag its feet, because if it is, then you're in the wrong relationship, or somewhere down the line, it's not feeding you, right? Everything is about energy. Two people, energies, right? Soul ties. You gotta understand. Stop giving your energy to everyone. As a female, that's our problem, right? We want to move on so quick after quick. That's a problem, right? Know yourself. Body is a temple. Treat it as such, right? Again, we gotta understand. Relationships should last, but again, nobody's perfect. Things happen, and you can move on. But you have to understand. Don't just go for everything, right? Have some standards. Have a lot of standards. And again, that's something that it needs to be concrete before you get into any relationship. Because you have to understand, what won't I deal with? What will I deal with? These are things you need to ask yourself before getting into any relationship, right? What is a no for me? What is a yes for me? The fact of it is, me personally, I have a lot of no's. I'm just saying, I'm being realistic. People always say, oh my gosh, you're so picky. Well, I don't tolerate anything. But you have to be the same way as a female. When I was in toxic relationships, I tolerated everything. That's the problem. So again, when I was in those toxic relationships, when I was in the relationships that wasn't feeding who I am, right? Who wasn't giving what I was supposed to be reciprocated, right? I'm out. That's the problem. As a female, stop taking so many chances. When the person shows you who you are, who they are, believe them, right? We're at the 10th red flag, but we're waiting for the 30th. What's wrong? What's happening? Society is just backwards. But if our friend does 2 red flags, we're done. Moving on. But why is that? When a relationship is giving you 20 red flags, why are we still trying? As a female, higher them standards. Raise the bar. Who cares if you don't like that, but you still want to do it? No, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. But they already know it's not going to work. That's why they're doing all those red flags. If somebody wants to be with you, they're going to be with you. Somebody wants to build with you, they're going to do it. If a person wanted to, believe me, they will. And nothing will stop them from doing it. And again, you have to be concrete with yourself. You have to love yourself, right? Don't bash yourself because it didn't work out. Because again, it happens. We're always mad if we wanted the best relationship to work out, but it didn't. Okay, move it on, right? Think about things within yourself. If your relationship didn't work, just ask yourself, what could I have done for myself, right? To better me for a relationship, not that relationship. Just what could I do to better me in the relationship, right? And again, a lot of things. But you have to understand, be concrete with yourself, right? Don't bash yourself. Don't say, okay, this is the end of the world. I don't know, as a female, it's the end of the world. We don't have a boyfriend. It's over. Yeah, no. Move it on. Higher those standards. That's what you have to do. Higher those standards. Because when you love yourself, what are you missing? And okay, whatever. Maybe missing a lot of things. But when you love yourself, it shows. And your partner will see it already. So they're not going to have to do so much because you guys are healed. You're healed because you're loving on yourself, right? Your partner has to be healed because healed, toxic. And I'm telling you from experience. So again, you can help them heal, but heal yourself first, right? We can't just keep trying to figure out our partner. What's wrong? But we have a million issues inside. But as a female, that's what we want to do. We want to heal everybody else, save the world, but we're burning inside. We're dying. That's ridiculous. That's the problem. Our generation just doesn't say these things. Society doesn't want us to know that, right? But you have to heal yourself because a relationship, again, should be fun. Dating. And that's the thing. Date before you get into the relationship. And as a female, I'm not saying go out there and date everybody, and no. But what I'm saying is understand what you will not tolerate, right? Understand who you like, understand what you like. And again, don't just say I like them because I like their sneakers. That's ridiculous. But we all been there before. I've been there before. I used to like the flashy, but it's ridiculous. That's a no, you know? The most flashy is the mindset. It's not good. And as a female, I want you to understand. You have to understand these things before getting into a relationship. Because if you don't, we'll forget all about ourselves. We get into a relationship, but we don't keep ourselves up anymore. We get into a relationship, but we forgot to do our hair. We get into a relationship, but we forgot to still dress yourself the way that you want to show up for yourself. Continue doing what you're doing. Stop trying to people please. Please yourself before you want to please the next, right? Before you want to please your next relationship, whatever, your partner, whatever. Again, you have to understand, do you, right? Do you and do it well before your partner comes. And what I mean by that is keep yourself up, right? We always think, why are we not in a relationship? Why are we doing this? Well, let me ask you this. How do you come outside? How do you dress? How do you talk? How do you speak, right? How do you carry yourself? That's the thing. As a female, we want a relationship, but we're still nagging and being outrageous and just not being ladylike, right? Now we have two sides. So female, feminine side, masculine side. We need to balance both. At some point, we need to, drop that little masculine side and, be more feminine. As a female, we have to be in our soft girl era. And this is me right now. I'm telling you, I had to heal. I had to do what I had to do because I was very argumentative. But the realization is I just don't tolerate anything. That's just what it is. But I learned to understand to, just be gentle. I'm a female. I'm not a man. And you're a female. You're not a man. So you have to understand that we can't always be on edge, right? We can't always be argumentative. We can't always be angry, right? It's important to understand. Do things that you want to do. But again, as a female, dress up. Why are we not, right? As a female, do things that it sounds cliche that females do, but in the real world, we have two sides. And sometimes as a female, it's hard to show your soft girl era. It's hard to be so feminine when you've always been masculine, when you've always been on the survival mode. It is, and I get it. I understand that. But at some point, you have to heal. You have to heal those parts of you, because if you don't, your relationship will just be like, okay, well, if you acting like that, I don't know if we can do it, Because again, why would a man want to date a man? I'm just being realistic here. Unless, you're into that, and that's fine. Each is its own. You have your preference. That's cool. I'm cool. Hey, I'm just saying though, female, male, right? Right. So let's think about this, right? So a female always arguing, always want to do things that guys want to do, but you're a female. But then we want to be spoiled and babied and treated as such. How can we do that? How can a male do that when they seeing you doing all this, right? So as a female, me to you, I want you to understand, heal that part of yourself, right? So that you can be a feminine version of yourself. You're already a female, but what I'm saying is soft side, right? Understand that it's okay to be hurt, but to heal that, right? We always hurt. But the fact of it is, when we leave a relationship, we carry that hurt on. And now we want to, do the most and then get them back times 10. What they say, the get back? It's ridiculous. That's toxic behavior. But as a female, we don't want to talk about that. As a female, we don't want to, say the real about that. We want to just get them back. We want to have revenge. But why are you playing with yourself like that? As a female, why are you doing that to yourself? Again, body's a temple. I don't care what it is. Why are you doing that as such? As a female, we have to just stop, right? If they're doing things that you don't like them to do, communicate or leave. And do it peacefully. Me personally, I won't tell you that, okay, as a friendship, let's start it like this. As a friendship, I won't say, okay, I'm going to give you 30 tries. No. Once you show me who you are, this is done. I appreciate you. Gotta hit the deuces. Gotta go. That's just me. And I remember everybody say, why you cut them off so easily? Easy. It was just that easy. And again, as a female, I need you to understand, be just the same. We don't give 10 tries, 20 tries. But let's be realistic. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. Right? Relationship. If they're going to build with you, they're going to build with you. If they're not, they're going to waste your time. But as a female, we get so caught up into our time wanting to be wasted because we don't want to cut them off. We're scared to. We don't want to be alone. That's the problem. We always want that person, but we don't want to be alone. And again, as a female, learn how to be alone. Learn how to be by yourself, right? I love it. I love it. I love it. But the fact of it is, you know, you want your partner, but you have to understand, be self-aware, right? Be self-aware. Be very vigilant and be very aware that, okay, I'm here, my partner's here, okay, we can come together, right? That's how it should be. It shouldn't be, okay, I'm here, you're here, but you have to be here because this is what we're doing. No. Again, in a relationship, females always want control. That's something that we need to stop, right? Ego. We always want to have ego. That's something we have to stop, right? Understand your boundaries. As a female, understand, again, what you allow and what you won't allow. But understand what you will allow from him and what you will not allow from him, right? Understand that we need boundaries because if not, we're just going to tolerate anything and we're going to go for anything. But the fact of it is that we have to know that you don't run the relationship. He don't run the relationship, but you guys are coming together. And I feel there's no thing as, okay, I'm going to do this, you're going to do, no. But a male needs to play his role and the female does as well. And that's the bottom line. As a female, we have to just stop being so naive. We're always naive. We're always so understanding. But are they understanding? Again, continue doing you until the focus is you, right? Continue doing what you need to do until your relationship comes. Because when it comes, then it'll be settled, right? But again, stop settling. We're not going to be settling 10 times, settling 20 times. No. And again, know the red flag when the red flag comes to you. Because the red is not green. It's true. The red is not green. So just understand that you have to know these things, right? Be aware. Love yourself. Again, get dressed up, right? Don't lose yourself because you've been in a relationship for 5 years, for 2 years, for a year. Don't lose yourself. Continue doing what you're doing. Because again, you can always lose interest, just like you. You can always lose interest. But again, this is for my females, right? I want you guys to boost yourself up. Make those standards a thing, right? Don't lower your standards. Do not lower your standards. If they cannot get up to par, I'm sorry, next. That's just what it is. And again, it's not, oh, you don't tolerate anything. You shouldn't either. Why are you tolerating everything, right? So as a female, I want to encourage you. Continue doing what you're doing, but push, right? Upper them standards. Do what's needed. And again, be the friend that they need or they be the friend that you need, however. But love yourself before the relationship comes. Because when you love yourself, you can know the difference between the two. You can know the difference between someone that's really wanting to build with you versus someone that just wants to hit it and quit it. Let's just be real. You know the difference. And when you love yourself, you understand what you can tolerate, what you will not tolerate. When you love yourself, you understand, is this going to last just with conversation? Just by someone having a conversation, you can know, where is this going to take us? And that's just realistic because, again, if you're in tune with yourself, you'll understand your mindset. You should have your mindset of, okay, strong conversation. I know how to carry myself. I know how to have a conversation. But that's the thing. Do you know how to have a conversation? As a female, we always want to talk about the same things. We always want to, do this, do that, dates. But do you know how to speak? Do you know how to carry a conversation about something interesting that's not just about you? Guys don't always want to talk about girly things. Come on, let's be realistic. Let's talk about things that will pique his interest as well, right? Let's do a thing that's both of us that we like to do. Again, make it fun. Relationships are not supposed to be boring. It's not always about money, flashy. You don't need money for a relationship. But again, be self-sufficient. You don't always have to buy the most expensive gifts. You don't always have to, do the people pleasing. No. Okay, so to end this episode on Wisdom Within Her podcast, I just want to continue encouraging you females just to higher your standards, love yourself, right? Become self-sufficient, right? And again, be healed. Become a healed version of yourself, and your relationship will come. So again, just to continue following me on my journey, follow me on all my socials, Danielle Garner on Facebook, and Dior 4Rs _X on TikTok and Instagram. So bye guys, continue following me.